Good morning, y'all. This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about some folk. Listen, there are some things that we need to that we need to discuss. Okay, um, we're going to talk about Skip Bayless. Um, yeah, we're going to talk about Skip Bayless. You know what's so crazy? I made three videos. I made the initial video when um, it first came out about his tweets. And then I came back and made another video because I think the following day he went onto his show and I guess tried to explain what happened. I don't know. I saw like a clip from the Shade Room. Um, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this. So I went back and took those parts out of the video. And then I made a third video and I was like, I do want to talk about this. And then after the video was probably like almost 30 minutes long. And then I was like, girl, I'm not posting this. So then I took that video down. Because I felt like my opinion was like so far from what the masses think. I was like, I don't even feel like I don't even feel like posting this on the World Wide Web because what I have to say I feel is different than it's like the unpopular opinion. And then last night I was reading some comments just on the blogs. And I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. It may be a few of us, but I'm not the only one that feels this way. So, we can just go ahead and talk about that right now. Y'all already know what's going on. Um, but there's a football player named Damar Hamlin who was playing the other night and he was hit and um, he was rushed to the hospital. That's basically like the short end of the story. I don't really know how he's doing right now, but I know at one point it didn't really look. It looked bad. It was a bad situation. Um, Skip Bayless, I think he's a rich white man. He has a show with Shannon Sharpe. You know what's so crazy, y'all? This is where I sometimes get confused. Like I hear these stories because I don't keep up with Skip. I don't know anything about Skip Bayless. I don't know anything about Shannon Sharpe. I don't know anything about Damar Hamlin. I don't know anything about any of these folks. But I have seen people online talk about how Skip Bayless has said some problematic things in the past. How he just says questionable things when as it pertains to I guess black players, black folk. Am I surprised? No. Again, baby, I mean, one, he's white. Then two, when you add the rich into it, girl, he's a rich white man. Also, I'm not really surprised by what people are saying. But this is where I start to like. It's like I felt like I feel like I'm on a merry-go-round. Like you hear these stories about like Vlad TV. Y'all know Vlad TV, right? And how he's the ops and how he ain't really there for black folk. But girl, every time I look up, all the black people run to his channel. So I'm like, well, girl, he can't be this bad if all the black men and the black women, they run to his channel. I've seen everybody from Vivica A. Fox, Lunel. Girl, we know Boosie, girl, stays down there. But we also know that girl for, a lot of these black men especially, they love being in close proximity to whiteness. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So then when I, look at, I guess this show, not look at it, but when I hear about this show called Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, I'm like, well, girl, how horrible is this white man if this black man decided to do a show with him? Because it's hard for me to believe that all of a sudden Skip Bayless and the way that he thinks became known to the public once he got a show with Shannon Sharpe. And it's hard for me to believe that Shannon Sharpe didn't know that this is the way that this man thought when he got a show with him. We have problematic coworkers at our jobs. But I don't feel like normal people who work just normal jobs, even if it's a even if you're a six-figure figure, okay? Um, but even if you make six figures, a lot of people just can't walk away from their jobs like that just because they may have a problematic coworker. You can go to HR, right? You can file some complaints. And a lot of us really don't have, we're not privy to who we're working with before we, start working with them. So all I'm saying is like, it's just weird that like this white man is this problematic, and then you have Shannon Sharpe, this big black nigga, who still decided to go into, I guess, business, have this show with this man, knowing that he supposedly says all of these things. I think that's something that people need to think about too. I'm just saying. So Skip Bayless, this is what he said the other night. Hold up. And when I tell you I have read these tweets more times than I can remember, because I really thought that I was missing something. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to stand on this one on my own. Or the few people who feel the same way I feel. Okay, so this is what he had to say. And I'm going to read them twice. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different. Not exactly sure what happened to Damar Hamlin. Players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field, CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family. I really didn't take anything that he said as though it was insensitive. I didn't take anything though he said was disrespectful. I took it as though what he was saying was, even with us being close to the Super Bowl, all of that seems so irrelevant at this point because this man just got hurt on this field. That's how I took it. Sorry, that's how I took it. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, ... which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Then he said, I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different. I think that he was saying, and even he might be included in this part, is, girl, anytime a player is injured, girl, the fans, the players, girl, the coaches, whomever it may be, is like, hey, that's part of the game. Okay, go back on the field. Hut, 1, 2, 3. Girl, I remember just like a few months ago, it was a Miami Dolphins player. And y'all know I don't even really talk about sports. There's a Miami Dolphins player who was hit. And I remember him like laying on the ground and his fingers. And they stopped the game. I'm going to try to find the video and post it so y'all can even hear the way that the commentators were talking like, oh my God, it's his back. This looks really bad, right? They didn't stop the game. Matter of fact, I think he took his ass back out there probably like the next girl in 15 minutes. I don't know. Like, it was crazy. Now, I don't know if this is the worst that people have ever seen, to the point where, girl, this man was pretty much fighting for his life from what I understand on the field. But I think that it would be disingenuous to sit here and act like, girl, even if it hasn't been close to this magnitude, that girl, there have been players in situations where, girl, it just looked bad. I think y'all need to stop expecting white people to care about black folk, especially in football. Girls, I was reading this earlier. Girl, they said 70% of the league is black. And I think I read something about like they finally got like the first black co-owner. I think it was a black woman. You know what's so crazy? This is YouTuber, Erica De Niro TV. Y'all know I adore Erica. She's been saying this for the longest. Now, I don't know, I can't remember her exact wording, but this is kind of how she put it. It's kind of like you got the white people in the box watching all the niggas on the field just run and bang each other and girl tear each other up on the field. But then you also have the white person who is the quarterback, and these niggas are expected to protect this white man. So you got the white man in the box, the white people in the box, watching these niggas play one of the most violent games. And then their goal is also to protect this white man. As much as y'all want to sit here and say that Skip Bayless said something wrong, I don't think he said nothing wrong. Y'all not gonna stop watching. Like, girl, the truth of the matter is, girl, these men, and can we just gonna have to just put it out there. These men play one of the most violent sports out there, and because y'all are entertained, and because it's a form of entertainment, they say it's a form of entertainment. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care just like these white folks don't care. Y'all don't care that these men could potentially have CTE. Y'all don't care about when y'all hear these stories of these men, girl, just spazzing out and having mental health issues. These men go out on the football field, throw on some clothes this thick, throw a little cotton ball inside of their goddamn clothes, throw a little helmet on, and then you expect these men to be 200, 250, 300 pounds, and then bang their bodies into each other because you want to be entertained on Super Bowl Sunday eating wings and sliders. In the hopes of, even though I see these men banging their bodies into each other, even though we hear these stories of these men girl being fucked up, we're still gonna watch. But y'all just better not say nothing though. That's what it's given to me. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Y'all say Skip Bayless is problematic. I'm sorry, but this is not sticking for me. Now, I'm not saying he ain't saying nothing problematic, but I don't think it's this. I don't think it's this right here. I think that what's going on is y'all want this white man to be held accountable so bad for the things that he says, and I feel like y'all just reaching for anything and hoping that it sticks. Again, he's probably said problematic things in the past. I believe y'all when y'all say that. I just don't think this is one of them. And even with that being said, it's not going to stop. Even with y'all knowing that what these men put their bodies through, even though y'all know what these men sign up for, to you it's just another form of entertainment. Like, y'all don't give a damn, because if you gave a damn quiet as a Skip, you wouldn't watch the shit. But because you're entertained, you're okay with it. If somebody gets hurt, we just don't need to talk about it. Like, y'all, like, people don't, when y'all go to these UFC games and watch these motherfuckers crawl into a cage and beat each other to a pulp, when y'all go to Floyd Mayweather, I remember one time Floyd Mayweather got into, was scheduled to fight. Girl, y'all was all, not y'all. People were all dressed up in a Sunday's best. Girl, to go to a game to watch two men crawl into a ring and, girl, bloody each other up. It's okay. Because I'm entertained. I'm sorry, y'all. And then Skip comes back And Shannon comes back, and then Shannon, I guess, is trying to give some speech, and Skip is being a rich white man interrupting him, and he lets him know straight off the bat, I'm not taking nothing back. I wouldn't either, because I didn't see nothing wrong in the tweets. And also, the people behind the scenes, basically the white men who run this show, they don't give a damn about what I said. And guess what's going to happen? Skip's still going to have that job. Shannon ain't going nowhere. He's still going to be his co-host. Y'all still going to watch Undisputed. And y'all still going to watch football. You know what happened, y'all, with me? I think I'm at the point in my life when I turned 40 where I had to really, and it was really one of you who left a comment in one of my videos. And I remember, I think I was talking about Carisha and how when Carisha said in the past that if her son was gay, she was going to whoop his ass. And then she pretty much doubled down on the comments. I don't know how Carisha feels to this day. And honestly, I really don't really care. And one of you basically said, like, it's going to get to a point where a lot of our faves say or do problematic things, or we just going to cancel everybody. And I was like, girl, you're right. And I think I'm just at the point where now, if something happens in life, while I can acknowledge that it's a sad situation, while I can acknowledge that it might even be a fucked up situation for what you said, when I sit back and think about, am I going to care about this in a week or two? Then I have to sit back and do the thinking. Like, the truth of the matter is, even with the unfortunate situation that happened to Damar, y'all still gonna watch the game. Y'all still gonna watch these men go out there and bang their bodies into each other. Y'all still gonna pile into somebody's house on Super Bowl Sunday and cheer on your favorite team while these men could potentially not walk off the field and potentially have CTE and fuck up their brains. Y'all still gonna watch? So what are we really talking about? If you're not gonna really make a big change and really sit here and say, you know what, this is not something that we should indulge in and look at a form of entertainment, I just say just shut the fuck up and just watch the game. If I'm really not going to stop listening to the City Girls whenever I do, girl, what's the point of me getting on here acting a fool and cussing Carisha out? Because as soon as Act Up come on, you're gonna be in the middle of the dance floor. I thought you said you was mad at Carisha riding it. You right. You see what I'm saying? I just feel like we have to get to the point where it's kind of like, okay, girl, am I gonna take a stance on this? Really take a stance? Or is it something I'm just gonna be mad about for a couple of days and forget about it? You can acknowledge the situation. You can acknowledge that a situation may be sad. You can acknowledge that people probably said something inappropriate, right? But girl, it's not going to change how I really feel at the end of the day. So it's kind of like, girl, I could sit here and say that Kaya says some of the most outrageous things. But I've also let y'all know too that, girl, I love Kaya. And I don't make any excuses for it. It is what it is. Kaya says some of the most homophobic, some of the most transphobic things out there. But girl, I still love Kaya. And and that's probably never going to change. So why what's the point of me to get worked up over stuff that Kaya says when the truth of the matter is, you know, you still love Kaya. That's where I'm at with it in my life. So I suggest some of y'all, do the same thing. What's the point of getting worked up over what Skip Bayless say if your ass still gonna watch Undisputed with him and Shannon Sharpe? What's the point of getting worked up about these players potentially, girl, possibly not walking off the field or potentially even dying when, bitch, all you gonna do is still watch the game on Sunday anyways? Just watch it. Just watch it and know that, girl, it's a possibility that this player might die. It's a possibility that this player may not walk off the field, but I'm still going to watch because it's my form of entertainment. I'm sorry. I hope the young man is okay. Um, I don't know if he will ever play football again. But the truth of the matter is, why would he? You almost died. People thought that you probably were going to die. So hopefully if he does make this out, the angels are watching over him, and maybe he can get into commentating, right? But I think that y'all need to stop expecting these white people from Skip Bayless on up to give a damn about black people. They don't give a damn about us. You think these white people who make all this money off these black players, girl, you think they give a damn about these black players? It's 70% of the league is black. Girl, they ain't got no owners. I think of that black woman, and I don't even know how much percentage she, but I guess own is own. I don't know, child. But the black lady I read about, they got a few black coaches. Anyways, this video getting too long. I think I'm going to make this one video. Yeah, I think I'm going to make this one video. No, we can keep talking. Shall I make this one video? I'll talk about DL. Now, this is another white. I don't know nothing about these people. This is another white person. UFC President Dana White has been under fire after a viral video surfaced showing him slapping his wife on camera on New Year's Eve. Previously, we shared while bringing in the New Year's in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, Dana White and his wife Ann White got into it. After whispering something in his wife's ear, Ann slapped Dana and he returned the favor. Meanwhile, the whole ordeal was caught on camera. Since the fight, Dana White has addressed. I love when men have, like, I guess names that are like girl names, like Ashley, Dana, Leslie. I think that's so cute. Has addressed the DV incident, claiming he and his wife have never had that happen before. A lie. Let me tell you something. You're not in public and your wife slaps you in public and then you slap her back and then you say that, girl, that's never happened before. Sweetie, as far as I'm concerned, y'all under some toxic. This is what I think about this situation. I think that there are couples out there, and it may even be you, who are in relationships and y'all are just violent as hell. I'm not trying to give the men a pass for hitting a woman, but I just realize and recognize that there are couples out there that all y'all do is just fight. And y'all don't leave each other. Y'all just fight. And I feel like this is one of those situations. Like at one point, as sad as it may, as trifling as this may sound, like with Blueface and Krishan. At one point, I felt bad for Krishan, but I don't know why I don't really feel bad for Krishan. Because I feel like you have two toxic people in a situation, and it's kind of like, girl, it is what it is. They both claimed that they were heavily intoxicated and both got out of control. However, many people on social media weren't satisfied with Dana's post-slap accountability. In addition to the lack of attention and canceling he's getting in the media, rapper turned podcaster Nori spoke out on Twitter and said, Dana White isn't canceled. Y'all got me confused. Echoing his comments, comedian D.L. Hughley tweeted, if Chris Brown, Bobby Brown, or Antonio Brown did what Dana White did, the media wouldn't stop talking about it. What can Brown do for you? Be white? If that had been a brother, it'd be nonstop coverage up a playground fight from the third grade. Scott, I don't know what he's talking about. Anyways, child, let me say something. I do believe that. I do believe that if this was a black man, it would be nonstop media coverage. I do believe that. You know what always kind of gets me is I almost feel like anytime we're talking about these violent situations, It's almost like y'all niggas just want to get away with violence. Like the white man do. And then, no tea, no shade, D.L. Hughley, you decided to use at least 2 out of 3 people, Chris Brown and Antonio Brown, to try to drive your point home. Antonio Brown has a history of violence. Chris Brown has a history of violence. Y'all keep trying to hang on to that Rihanna situation. Girl, fuck Rihanna. Girl, what about Karrueche Tran? What about these colorist ways that Chris Brown... Like, Chris Brown is problematic. Y'all want to talk about problematic folk? And you use that as your way of trying to make it seem as though, girl, if this was Chris Brown or Antonio Brown, y'all will drag them. Girl, they should. They're violent. Girl, if you're going to try to use an example and use black men to say, oh, if this happened to Barack Obama or Papoose, like people who are not in the media and don't have a history of violence, that probably would have drove your point home. But you want to use Chris Brown and Antonio Brown, who was just in the news the other day for throwing a shoe at his baby mama head? Girl, what? Like, these are best niggas that you could come up with, D.L. Hughley. Again, I get it. I'm not going to act like I don't. You know? If this was a black person, a black man, the media coverage, honey, it would be nonstop. But I also feel like some of y'all just want to be able to get away with violence like white men do. Like, even when you talk about Bill Cosby, if what's the white man name? Harry Weinstein? What's his name? I can't remember his name. If this was him, they wouldn't have said nothing. So you just want to be able to go out here and just pop pills in people's drinks and take them home and take advantage of them. Okay. You just want to be able to just go upside a bitch head and nothing happen. Oh, okay. Gabrielle Union says that she felt entitled to cheat during her first marriage to being the breadwinner. Whoever has the most gets to do whatever the hell they want. So some relationships just aren't meant to last. Famed actress Gabrielle Union spoke to the fact. This video getting too long. We're going to come back and talk about Gabrielle Union in another video. This video almost 30 minutes. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.